Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your novel study on The Great Gatsby. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of annotation. So as we're learning to annotate novels, it's really important that we realize that there are a lot of ways to annotate, but the why is the most important thing. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to discuss with you annotation. Now, I know that this is the first novel that we've read together as a class, so we're going to take this slow. We're going to take this one chapter at a time, and we're going to add on a piece. I'm going to go over all of the pieces that we're going to be annotating for the whole semester, for the whole last quarter of school. But each week, you're going to be asked to do a specific thing and then add on an additional component the next week. You may absolutely work ahead and add more annotations in and get the practice in if you like to, but it'll tell you what the minimum requirement for annotation is. Another important thing that you're going to want for annotation is your vocabulary list. So I would just have that vocabulary list that you already made really handy because it's going to help you to do your annotating, because no matter what, every week we're going to be annotating our vocabulary. All right, so let me share my screen and then we will get started. So here we go. Great. Okay, so you should be seeing the importance of annotation, and I just want to show you I have my vocabulary list that I created in another assignment. I have it handy so that I can find those words and know what words we're going to be looking for. Okay, so annotation. Annotation is a crucial skill for students. It enhances your comprehension, your critical thinking, and your engagement with the text. It's not enough to just read or to just listen when we're doing reading for academics. We need to read deeply into the text. Now, I love audiobooks and I love reading and I love listening to audiobooks while I'm doing the dishes and doing other things, and I would encourage you to do that as much as possible. However, for our novel study with The Great Gatsby, if you do choose the listening option, I would love for you to follow along in your actual book, because that's going to help you to get this annotating done faster. If you choose to do these as separate things, then you're going to be creating more work for yourself. So annotating as you read is the best option. Otherwise, you're going to have read the book and then you're going to have to go back and redo the annotations. And that is just not fun for anybody to have to redo it. The purpose of this is to help you to understand as you're reading. I've broken it down into chapter chunks and I've broken it down into small pieces that we're annotating each week and adding on. The categories that we're going to be annotating by the time we finish this book are vocabulary words, location settings, relationships, history, background, or character traits, and then a wild card, which is anything that stands out. As you're annotating, just know that this is not the only way to annotate. There are a lot of ways to annotate. This is just how we're going to do it. As you learn to read more, you can choose your own methods of annotation that you really, really enjoy. All right, so let's look at this assignment, shall we? Okay, we're just going to simply read the book, but we want to make sure that we have downloaded the vocabulary chart that you completed in a previous assignment. Remember, in the last video, I encouraged you to copy it into a Google Doc. That's where I have mine, and that's what I'm going to use. For this first assignment, the only thing you have to annotate is your vocabulary. The next assignments will tell you what other things to annotate, but in the first assignment, we're just going to focus on vocabulary. Now, when you're using the annotation tool in Canvas, all you have to do is use this exactly as it is. And so when you're reading your book, I want you to read it in here. Now, you can put on this and play along and simply play it within the reader, and then go ahead and listen as you're playing. I'm not going to do that now because it would be distracting, but you can have this playing and then go back to this window and listen as you read. So what we're going to use is this highlight tool here. Click highlight, and then we're going to go for orange because we're going to annotate vocabulary. Now, as I've said before, if you want to work ahead, you absolutely can. So let's give you an example of that. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice. So if we remember that father, we were going to do relationships in pink, you may add some pink there because that might be something that you want to do. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, just remember that all these people, blah, 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 we're reading, we're reading. We're taking our time, we're reading through, we're looking for specific things, okay? So we might get to a place where we see setting, we might see a place, and that might help us to know where our next thing is. And remember, for this one, all we're requiring is vocabulary. So I have my list here. I've looked at these words. I'm pretty familiar with these words. I'm going to go ahead and start highlighting these words. So I'm reading, I was unjustly accused of being a politician because I was privy. I remember that's one of my words. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight privy and be done with that one. To the secret griefs of the wild unknown men, most of the confidences were unsought, frequently have feigned sleep. So you're just reading the book. And what's really cool about this is a lot of times teachers will give you assignments where they'll say, read this book and then answer all these questions. Well, you're actually going to get credit for actually doing the reading. And the way I'm going to know that you read is because you did these annotations. So once you finish doing all of them for the whole chapter, we want to find all of these vocabulary words that were in our chapter 1. Remember, this is chapters 1 through 3, so you're not going to be finding all of them today. You're going to just be finding the ones from chapter 1, and you're going to go ahead and submit it. Once you're done, you submit that assignment. Again, feel free to work ahead, and you can work ahead by adding more in and learning more, but you're not required to do the annotation in that way. That's going to help you with your next assignment, which is on taking notes in the chapter. So the further ahead you work, the easier it's going to be. You're not going to have to go back and redo old ones, but it's just going to help you to learn to identify these ideas and begin to annotate them. So I hope that that helps you to understand annotation and why we do it. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me, and you can always meet me in a Zoom. I hope you enjoy reading, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.